Early in this unit, we talked about writing equations of lines. Before we even got into that, we first said that the equation of a line is a rule that generates a line, or that it's a rule that can generate the ordered pairs of the line, the ordered pairs or the points on that line. And then we can assume that there's a bunch of other points on that line as well, so we connect the line, we connect the dots to represent the whole line or all of the ordered points that can get generated from the equation. We previously had said to write equations of line in point-slope form. That's the formula on the bottom left. That's the formula we talked about. Okay. We wrote that equation from characteristics of the line. Characteristics of the line, in particular, being a point and a slope we used, two different characteristics of a line. Another set we used is two different points on that line. We use those 2 points to then generate the rule or the equation of the line. Today, we're going to give you a different set of characteristics of a line, and we're going to ask you to write a different form of the equation of the line. Okay? Okay. The new form we're going to talk about is slope-intercept form. I believe you guys have seen this in previous years, like in 8th grade, graphing from slope-intercept form. Okay. Have you guys seen it in terms of writing the slope-intercept form? A little bit? You hadn't done that from point-slope form, had you, though? You hadn't seen point-slope form, had you? You saw it a little bit? Okay. Well, that's kind of what we're going to take a look at today. All right? Cool? Cool. In slope-intercept form, what did you say the M meant? That's our slope. What did you say the B meant? What? Where you start? What's another way to say it? There's a special name. This is kind of, we use that as our starting spot. It actually comes from the part of the name of the form, intercept. It's called the Y-intercept. B is the Y-intercept. Yep. B is the Y-intercept. On point-slope form down below, M we said was the slope again. This set of expressions, the X1 and the Y1, we said that was a point on the line. Not necessarily the Y-intercept. We said that that was just some point anywhere on the line. Okay, that's different than our slope-intercept form, where we have our Y-intercept being our specific, or B being our specific point Y-intercept. Okay, it's a very specific spot description on where it is on the graph. In terms of point-slope form, though, we have some random point anywhere on the line. It's not necessarily on the Y-axis. Okay, and then over here we have the formula to find the slope. M is the slope again. In terms of this set, that's some point on the line. Okay, and in terms of this set, that's a second point on the line. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the characteristics of these lines that are described below. And we want to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay, so that's our ending spot, slope-intercept form. Now, there's one of two ways that you can do this. I'm going to do it the hard way first to kind of connect it with things we've already learned. Okay, and then I'm going to do it the easy and much easier and much faster way. Okay, so bear with me. On the first one, I want you to write it down in both forms. Okay, and in both ways. But on 2, 3, and 4, I just want you to do it. We're just going to do it the quick way. All right, we'll get there. So on the left over here, we're going to do it the slow way. A Y-intercept on a graph is just a very specific point, right? Remember when we graphed using X and Y-intercepts, what did we say the X-coordinate of the Y-intercept was? If we have a Y-intercept, what did we say the X-coordinate was? 0. Yeah. So really, when I ask you to write the equation or to graph it using the y-intercept and the slope in this particular case, I'm really just saying I'm giving you a point and here's the slope. So you can actually do this in the exact same way that you did it last week. Okay? There is officially only one little bit that's new on this, and it's turning the fact that we're saying it's a y-intercept into the ordered pair 0, 3. That's the only little bit new. Okay? So right now we can actually write it using point slope form as one method. Okay? Where we drop our ordered pair 0, 3 in, where our x coordinate 0 and our y coordinate 3. We drop that into our formula, and then we have our slope, which is 2, and that goes in where our slope goes. And then we have to actually respond to this after that, because the directions didn't say leave it in point slope form, right? The directions actually said leave it in slope intercept form. If you look up above, slope intercept form has y all by itself, right? And it doesn't have any parentheses. There's no binomial in it. So what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to go ahead and simplify this. This is a situation where we're going to distribute as needed. In this case, x minus 0, we don't have to distribute, so we're just going to, because 0 is 0, so we're just going to leave it as 2x on the right. Okay. And again, slope-intercept form has y by itself, so we're going to just solve this for y. We're going to keep going, so we're going to add 3, add 3. And there's our equation. Okay, from that, does anybody see the fast way to do it? Does anybody realize the fast way, comparing that to the points up above, or the descriptions up above? Exactly. Pretty much what she said was, well, if m is 2, can't you just put that where m is? And if b, or the y-intercept, right, is 3, can't you just put that where b goes? Absolutely. Done. You get the same thing. That's the fast way. Why would I even do it the slow way? I really wanted to connect it with things that we had already done. Okay? You could just remember how to do it the first way. You don't really need to remember how to do it the second way. Right? So now to graph it, we had somebody that described it a little bit earlier. We start on the y-axis at 3. So we start at our point 3, and then we're going to use our slope. 2 over 1, right? 2 over 1. So we're going to go 2 over 1 says rise, 2, right, 1. And use a straight edge, folks. Done. That's it. Okay. But the slope 2 over 1 says go up 2, right, 1. We're always pretty much always going to go to the right. It's either we change it up or down, depending whether it's negative or positive. So like number 2, we have a y-intercept, so that's our b, and we already have our slope. So we can just drop it into y equals mx plus b, or 1/3 x minus 1. That's our equation that's generated from the characteristics up above. The only reason why we can just straight up drop it into slope-intercept form is because we're given the y-intercept. If we were not given the y-intercept, we can't just drop it in. And then our graph, we use our starting point, -1, on our y-axis because it's our y-intercept, and we use our slope, 1/3. That says up 1, right 3. So we're going to go up 1, right 3. Up 1, right 3. And we can continue that off to the graph so it looks nice. You can reverse it, make sure they line up in a straight line. Stuff. Any questions? Let's go to the next part. We have a y-intercept, so we can just drop it into slope-intercept form. That's our equation. We have our y-intercept of 5, so we're going to put our dot on the y-axis at 5. and then we use our slope. What are the directions from our slope? What does negative 1/4 tell us to go? What directions from our starting spot does it tell us to go? We're going to go down 1, right 4. And then our last one, this is interesting, slope of 0. What do we get there? We're going to simplify it a little bit because we don't like that 0 in there, absolutely. And it's going to be a vertical or a horizontal line. Horizontal. When it's y equals in the end, it's going to be straight up horizontal. That's a good one. Okay? Good stuff. What I want you to do, go to the next page. That's going to wind up being your homework. Take a look at this. As we go to the next page here, there's a variety of ways I want you to finish writing these equations. Take a look at it. Look at number 1. Number 1 says I'm giving you the y-intercept and the slope, and I want it in slope-intercept form. That's the way I want you to finish it. Whereas number 3 says I'm giving you 2 points, and I want it in point-slope form as a result. Again, at the beginning of this unit, I said if you're not going to read the directions, you're going to struggle a bit. Okay, you need to read and interpret the directions to understand what to do each time. Okay, because it's going to be a little bit different. All right, so make sure you read and understand the directions and understand specifically what you're given and what I'm asking for in the end. All right, get to work. Peace.